would you read the roll?
Mr. Bowen,
Here.
Mr. Heflin is absent. Ms. Parker,
Here.
Mr. Lucera is absent. Ms. Cordova.
Here.
Mr. Robinson,
Here.
Mr. Lopez.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here. Okay, thank you. Mr. Robinson will lead us in the invitation, and I'll lead us in the pledge to go right to stand. Thank you, Mayor. Oscar, thank you. Thank you.
Father in heaven, we come to you today to ask you to continue to place a blessing on our community. Place a blessing on the people that are in trouble way in the Middle East. We ask you to be with them, guide their angels to bring them home. We ask you to look over our community and work with our workers. We ask you to bless the mayor, and we ask you to continue to bless our community. In the name of Jesus, we pray, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the spirit of the assembled of perfect righteousness among the United States. Sir. All right, next item is item 5 is public comment. Public has the opportunity to provide comment on any subject during the public comment period. The speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes unless the mayor and the council request more information. The time limit is given in an effort to allow the public input that the agenda open and promptly at efficient manner. All speakers must sign in at the beginning of the meeting. I have that list here. There was a couple people came in after we'd already got the list. Colleen, I think he came in late and do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to add you to the list then. And then Mandy, I'll get to you here just a little bit. You're on the record. Okay. And then, so the first speaker that's here is Mr. Sias.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to come speak to the council?
Yes, sir.
Going to come to the podium, please. Go ahead.
Okay, greetings, city council. I came over here on the resolution on 820 East Elm, which is Lucille Sadler. I also noticed my property's on there, which is 824 East Elm. And I've been cleaning it. I came by to see if I could get a 90-day extension on the cleanup. It was like 15 years of accumulation I had, and I'm moving out of the county. So it's taking me a while to move everything. And then I'm doing improvements to the property too at the same time. So it's taking a lot of time, and you know, that's what I came by to ask.
Why don't we do this when we get down to that item? We'll discuss it with our community service director and we'll get there, but we know where you stand.
Okay,
She was able to probably see what progress you've been able to make.
I've been trying to communicate with everybody
Understood.
and doing what I gotta do. Okay, thank you. You have a good day.
And then Ms. Sias, did you want to speak as well? Ma'am?
No.
Okay. All right, and then we have Cuban Extra. All right, how do you say that again? How do you pronounce it? Extra?
Yeah.
Kubon?
KWON,
AWO.
EKSTRON.
Thank you. For the rest, go ahead, sir.
All right, so I regret to inform the citizens that I'm now prepared to file a lawsuit against the city of Portales. This is for discrimination and due process violations in support of a felony kidnapping and the abuse of my son, Benjamin Ekstrom. The primary victim of these crimes is a 9-year-old child, and I would rather spend my time and money giving him Christmas. And I'm sure the citizens would rather work on the water crisis. Should a lawsuit become necessary, I will request damages for each day that the 4th-degree felony is ongoing under 30-4-H. It has been 188 days since the felony kidnapping was reported to the Portales Police Department via dispatch on May 24th. The council has informed me that I must submit to an investigation to prove that I had the right to make a police report. As of today, I have not received a case number to file those documents under. The New Mexico Constitution, Article 2, Section 18 states, "Nor shall any person be denied equal protection of the laws. Equality of rights under law shall not be denied on account of the sex of any person." Consider my presence here as evidence that I am a person. When Chief Williams personally responded on May 24th, he refused to accept the custody determination, telling me that the city of Portales does not investigate kidnappings. Under New Mexico 29-1-1, it is hereby declared to be the duty of every sheriff, deputy sheriff, constable, and every other peace officer to investigate all violations of the criminal laws of the state, which are called to the attention of any such officer or of which he is aware. To show how serious this is, the law also states, failure to perform his duty in any material way shall subject such officer to removal from office and payment of all costs of prosecution. Parental kidnapping is widely recognized as a severe form of emotional and psychological abuse. This meets the criteria under New Mexico for third-degree felony child abuse. Under 32A-4-3, this requires all persons to report and all law enforcement to investigate. It is my duty as Ben's father to protect his emotional well-being, and custodial interference has provisions to minimize the trauma to him by ensuring a relationship with both parents. Specifically, these are defined under 30-4-4 F and G. Now, there are two specific statements in the council's correspondence I will read word for word to emphasize how egregious these offenses are. One, it says, Chief William tells me, and I have seen it in the correspondence, that when he contacted you, you said you are not the lawful father, and the chief told you he need a copy of the court order showing you had custody of the child. And what you provided to me does not show, nor does it provide me with any information that confirms you are the father of, nor you have any custodial rights of the child. The custody determination issued by Judge Reeb of the 9th District Court meets the criteria under New Mexico 30-4-4. The 9th District Court on First Street continues to have uncontested jurisdiction under the federal and state Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act. I have not been notified of any modification, nor has any been registered with the court. The council has refused to provide a copy of the reference correspondence for me to examine, and Chief William has no legal means to determine my right to custody after refusing to accept a copy of the custody order. The right to custody is defined in 30-4-4A5 as a parent-child relationship between the child and a natural or adoptive parent, absent a custody determination, or B, a custody determination. There is no other method. Finally, I do not believe the council's actions provide the rights given to kidnapping victims under Article 2, Section 24 of the New Mexico Constitution. I feel very disrespected by the council's decision to ignore a custody order in support of a felony. Refusing to provide a case number deviates from standard practices such as chain of custody that are intended to protect privacy. The 188 days that have elapsed so far is not a timely disposition of my case. 30-4-4G has provisions when the child is returned within 14 days. And the U.S. Department of Justice recommends that law enforcement apply the National Child Search Assistance Act to all cases of parental abduction due to high rates of abuse and filicide. This law requires law enforcement to file a federal NCIC record within 2 hours. Thank you.
You're welcome. Of course, we can't do anything about that at this point, but we appreciate getting you on the public record.
Okay, well,
Sound fair?
The Portales Police Department falls within the jurisdiction of the city council, correct?
That's right. And you're on.
And your statements are that in the city of Portales, you do not enforce kidnapping, which is a violation of international law.
You're on
under the
record,
Hague
you're on
Convention of-
record, excuse me, you're on record of presenting this to us, and that's all we can do tonight.
Okay, well, should a lawsuit become necessary, I will request $100,000 per day that this has not been handled, as it is a felony. That is child abuse,
Okay.
and under New Mexico law, you are required to investigate.
Thank you. On the list, and we'll go on to the next item is item 6. Minutes of the previous meeting, the regular meeting of the November 14th, 2023. Minutes are in your packet. Are there any questions or corrections to those minutes? Otherwise, I'll entertain action to approve the minutes.
So move.
Second.
By Mr. Lopez, second by Ms. Parker, all in favor, state by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Right, item 7 is a couple of presentations. And then, first off, we have a recognition of the Altruistic Club. Judge, are you here to represent the Altruistic? Perfect. And Mandy? Good. So we have this great plaque, that's plaque. We provided to you guys and it's for your contributions to the city pool furniture. Yeah, yes, you guys put together this past year. So. That's the plaque for you guys. Oh, box and a hoop. Mandy, President. Congratulations. And thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Mary, you want this one? Yeah, thank you. We have a representative from the RCEC. Somebody here? Anybody? We'll just explain that RCEC is presenting to them with much gratitude, which they help put all the they put all the Christmas lights up for us and the Christmas decorations.
And they also loan their equipment to our water department when we need it to pull big pumps and whatnot, so we're very thankful for that.
Mr. King, too.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations, RCEC.
Thank you.
Nobody there. And the next one is a report on municipal elections. Mandy? Here's your part.
Sure.
Thanks for being here.
Okay. The election was held on November 7th. The county canvass was on November 14th. There were a total of 169 votes cast in Roosevelt County. That was 16.79% turnout. 960 of those were voters from within the city limits. In comparison, there were 451 for the previous year's municipal officer election. So double the participation rate over the last year. And that previous municipal officer election had contested council races and a contested mayor's race. So it was a nice number. On page 10 of your canvas report are the results for the city limits or for the city council. In Ward A, Ms. Cordova was unopposed and she received 116 votes, retaining her seat. In Ward B, Mr. Bowen received 76 votes and Mr. Self received 191 votes, winning that seat. In Ward C, Mr. Heflin received 90 votes and Mr. Merrick received 293 votes, winning that seat. In Ward D, Mr. Lucero chose not to seek re-election and Mr. Rackler ran unopposed, receiving 148 votes, winning that seat. In the 2021 regular local election, there were 832 ballots cast, which was 8.9% of the eligible voters. And that election did not include municipal officer races for the city of Portales or the village of Elida. The state canvass was done this morning. Maggie Toulouse-Oliver, the Secretary of State, reported a 20.54% turnout rate statewide, which was slightly better than Roosevelt County. There were no findings by the state auditor. The state canvass went smoothly. It was accepted early this morning, about 10 o'clock. And then this afternoon, we did the not we, I wasn't there. The state audit team basically rolls the dice and they say, these are the ones that you'll check for your post-election audit. So we will do our post-election audit December 8th at 9 a.m. in the courtroom. And the public is invited to that. It's not very exciting. We're gonna, it's kind of boring, actually. We're gonna recount. The Floyd School Board had, that was the tightest race in the county, a difference of 4 votes, between 4th and 5th place. And they had four spots open. So that 5th spot didn't get a seat. So a difference of 4 votes, and that one was triggered an automatic recount of that precinct. And then the other precinct that we were assigned in their recount lottery was precinct 5. So we're going to recount precincts 5 and precinct 6 on December 8th. I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions from the council? Any comments? You know, it's the first year we've done this with the county running it, so you did a good job.
I appreciate
Moved
that.
our elections a little bit along, and our members are here tonight as well, so congratulations to you guys, and thanks for taking care of that for me.
You're welcome. And I really think having the municipal elections alongside the regular local with the school boards and the soil and water conservation districts, that bumping that percentage up from 8% of the total vote to 16, everybody benefits. The school boards, the soil and water conservation districts, the hospital districts, the voters, everybody. So,
Good.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe Mr. Dorr is going to take care of the swearing in on at the next meeting.
Second meeting in December.
That's when we plan on doing it. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
you.
One more item on presentations, and it's the November Employee of the Month. And I see Mr. Bustamante hiding back there. Not really hiding, he's out there. And anyway, I'll present this to you, and then Sarah has a few things to say that Mr. Chavez had wrote. Did Steve make it? Yeah.
He's here.
He's here too. Steve's back in the back too, so.
So Billy started with the city in 2018 as summer help. Then he came on as full-time with the Parks Department and worked his way up to crew leader. Billy has done very well leading the crew. He was very instrumental in getting the city hall ready for the move and getting the new city hall moved. Billy is always ready to do what needs to be done. The Parks Department looks up to Billy as a crew leader. And I, Steve Chavez, can always count on Billy to keep everything moving forward in my absence. And I know staff really enjoys working with you, always make everybody smile. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thanks, sir. Good job, Steve. Thanks. Right, discussion and action items. First item there is thank you services. Joe, are you here? He is here. Thank you services approval entering into contract negotiations with US Bank. Joe.
Mayor and council. Staff requests approval to enter into contract negotiations with US Bank. US Bank received the highest score on the score requirements.
Do you have any questions for Joe? Entertain action on this item, please.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Ms. Parker, second by Mr. Bowen. Let's read the roll, please.
Yes. Mr. Bowen,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin is absent. Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Lucero is absent. Ms. Cordova,
Abstain.
absent. Let me make a note of that, sorry. Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes. Okay. The item is approved. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Next item is from the city clerk.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm here tonight to present a public hearing on, for Portales Fun Center. They've applied for a liquor license. And it is on the agenda, and I want to note, on the agenda, there is a slight typo, an error in the way that it was presented. If you will read, I will read to you. Public hearing for approval of application for a wine grower liquor license with on-premises consumption and package sales with patio service. The word only was added after public's patio service. It is not supposed to be there. And I have the file folder here, and every document that I've saved regarding and I've worked on regarding this particular license does not use that word. So that's a typo, it's an error, and all we need to do is make note of it publicly, and we will put it in the minutes as such. It is with patio service. So let me see. At the Portales Fun Center located at 1001 West 18th Street, Portales, New Mexico, 88130. So,
Good job.
thank you.
Mayor, I'll make a motion. We enter into public hearing for a wine grower's liquor license with on-premise consumption and package sales with patio service.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Miller, a second by Ms. Parker, all in favor, state saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We are in a public hearing for support or not support of this item. If I have anything to say. One way or the other. Yes, ma'am.
Do I need to go through? Oh, doesn't matter to me. I can be pretty loud. Really, my name is Angie Smith. I really wasn't planning on speaking on this. I didn't realize this was going to be on the agenda this evening. I would just like to say that I'm a little disappointed and apprehensive about having this at a public fun center where we have children. It's supposed to be for children, and it's supposed to be for families. And I also want to say, I say this very hesitantly. I know the family that owns the Portales Fun Center. They're good friends, and I want their business to succeed. I want every business in our community to succeed. I truly do. Strong economy, strong community. But I am very concerned that when we have places where families are gathering, and we have particularly very small children, that we are accidentally or unintentionally sending the message that young people, you cannot have fun as an adult. You cannot have fun with your family unless you're able to consume alcohol wherever you want to be. I think that's a very dangerous message to be sending our young people. And it would just be nice if we had some places in our community where families can go and not be concerned if somebody's had too many or somebody gets upset. And then there's an altercation that you don't want to expose your children to. Not to say that that's going to happen. I hope it never does. But those things have happened on occasion. I'm just concerned about the message we're sending our young people, concerned about safety for our young people. And I really don't want them to think that there's nowhere they can go where that's not going to be prevalent. Can we as a community just say, all right, not here? Again, it's very hard for me to say because I know the family that owns the business and I want them to succeed very much. And I hope they're not mad at me for saying this. It's just at some point, when are we going to be able to stand up and say, okay, I think that's enough. Thank you for listening.
Anyone else?
Mayor, if there's no further public hearing, then move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Miller to close the public meeting, and second by Ms. Cordova. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
And now I'll entertain action by the council for the application.
Mayor, I move for approval of the application.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Miller, and second by Mr. Robinson. Danielle, would you read the roll on this one, please?
Yes. Mr. Bowen,
Yes.
Mr. Hepler is not here, sorry. Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Ms. Cordova,
No.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Moon.
Yes.
Next item is from the finance department, Clyde Blade. Finance Director has ratification of the Finance Department's actions and bills for the month of November. Thanks for being here, Twyla.
I did notice that I missed changing my dates at the top of my form, and I've got that fixed. But for the month of October, the city spent $2,182,000 and 549. And I did separate out the list of the large expenditures this time, listed them by what fund they come out of and the amount. We had street improvements for $671,000, or if I can read. $617,000, 975. For the vehicles for the PD, there was 1,400. This is not my night. $149,142. And for the grounds at the airport, there was 136,648. And for the Ute Water Administration, there's $115,032. If you have any questions, we will find out
Miller has a question.
a little more on those.
Twyla, with regard to street improvements, vehicles and maintenance and ground runways, those were all grants, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else on council have questions for Twyla?
I don't have a question, I have a comment, Twyla. I really like how you did the large items, because I always go to look for the larger items. So I do appreciate
Yeah,
that.
and that's what I was focused on that. And
Yeah.
then today I was looking at it, going, I never went and changed the dates at the top after I was done.
Well, I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
then does the vehicles for the PD, does that include the decals for it?
On that, that would be a question for the
No.
chief, and I think they do have grant, but it's out of,
That was just to get the vehicle, they happen to have 2 extra ones, so with that last round of funding we got from the state, we were able to pick those up. So they were actually on the model.
Okay,
So we're waiting
got lucky.
out there.
Okay, so we are getting them decaled.
But it doesn't include this.
Now, we won't get those ones decaled, right now I'm driving one because it doesn't have any equipment. So the unit I had that had lights and radio and siren and everything went to somebody else, so they can use better.
Okay.
So we'll get them out from the chief because we didn't plan on being able to get these initially until we got that last round of funding, so. I'll do them up as admin vehicles for now, so that we can keep the cost.
Okay, thank you.
Twyla, on the street improvement, is that the one? These are funds went with to the junior high school? What is the street improvement?
that would be a question for.
It's a-
Steve.
18th.
Yeah, it does say it's for
Oh,
18th and Stratford.
Oh, it's 18th and
Is
Stafford
that the
Wood.
one that goes to the hospital?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the new
Emergency
one
room.
out there.
An emergency room.
Okay. I can't see. Thank you.
You need a map.
I need a map because I was way over here.
Any other questions from the council for Twyla?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Ms. Cordova to approve, a second by Mr. Lopez. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say
Road.
Community service. Kelly, you coming up?
Yes, sir.
Let's see that.
There's always a bad part for them.
And I got a laser pointer and I'm new with it, so we should consider it a dangerous weapon. So I get this lined out. Right, thank you, Mayor, Council. So our first three are gonna be requesting directions on some properties. The first one is gonna be the property off North Avenue. Okay, I think these are a little out of order. Will you go to the 820 one first? That one. All right, so here's just some background information. This is one of the properties that Mr. Size was talking about. So the property was declared by council August 22nd, 2023. The 90 days expired October 16th, 2023. So there's two properties side by side. This one's in care of Mr. Seal Sadler. And I have not been able to speak to Ms. Sadler, but I know she does communicate with Mr. Mark Size. The current property owner is deceased. Next picture.
Wait a minute.
Go back.
One is deceased is 824.
No, 820 is the one that is in care of Mr. Seal Sadler with the owner deceased. So this property is the one we have not had any contact with property owners or with the in care of, but they have spoken to Mr. Mark Size. Perfect. So these are the before pictures. These are the pictures we took when we declared the property dangerous in August. And then these are the current pictures. There has been some improvement on the property. I know I can't speak for the property owners or the in care of. I know Mr. Size has worked with us on a previous property, getting it cleaned up. On the other side, we do have a complainant who would really like to see this property cleaned up. So I will leave it up to council. Here are some pictures. We try to replicate the previous pictures as well as we can, so you can see improvements. This picture is a little, oh, it doesn't show up there. This picture is a little different. It just shows some of the fences falling on the neighbor's
Who's
side.
cleaning the property if the guy's deceased?
That'll be Mr. Mark Size,
Okay, and he owns 824.
824. So he owns the property right next to it.
Carry on. Thank you.
Yes, so we're seeking direction today to see if you would like to, it's not ready to come off the dangerous property list in its current condition, so it'd be up to council if you guys would like to extend the time frame for it or direct us to move forward court proceedings.
We gave him 90 days in August.
Yes,
90 days was up in October.
October
And an
16th.
Additional 30 days. Is that right?
Yes, so from today, yeah, yes.
Mr. Mayor, if I may. So I just wanted to remind the council that this is the property that went before council back when, Antonio Salguero was still on council, so it's been way more than the 90 days.
Way more than 9 years.
9 years, yeah. And I have one question. So how is he being able to place his stuff on a property that's not even his?
I can pass that to Mr. Size if he can answer. I know he was under the impression he owned the property or had bought the property. But according to the accessor side, it is still owned by the other property owner in care of Mr. Sadler.
Okay.
But he may have better explanations.
Can you just answer that for us, Mr. Stiles?
Okay, when I came here in 2007, the property taxes were really behind, so I came over here to see if I could pay the property taxes and start paying the property up. And the city council back then agreed to it. And then I agreed to get the paperwork switched over to my name, so I went and paid the consultation fee to the lawyer from the city, and I never got a response on it. So now I'm wanting to go to another lawyer, I guess, try and get the paperwork out to the probate. But she said I've been communicating with her on the cleanup and everything like that, so that's why I wanted an extension to come up and take the fix.
So if we gave you 90 more days, how much further along are you gonna get?
I should have it all cleaned up and maybe some paperwork to show you that I'm in the process of getting ownership of it, because Seal Sadler is the one that gave me the paperwork.
Are you gonna be able to get both properties cleared up in 90 days?
I'm hoping so, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna work hard on it. Like I said, I gotta make a living, but I'm showing a lot of progress. I hit like half of the cleanup already in the past. You know, it's taking me time. I'm not lying, but I'm gonna work hard on it. There's, you want to give me a chance.
Can I ask you
Yes,
one more
ma'am.
question? What about the debris that's coming out into the other property owner's yard?
Okay.
Like your fence is falling?
Yeah, I've been communicating to the neighbor next door and notified that I'm doing the fencing and everything. And they're okay with it. I also have the neighbor across the street that they're trying to donate me material or anything I need, so I'm communicating with all my neighbors.
So,
And if I need any phone numbers or anything like that.
so just for the record, the neighbor that's right next to you is actually my daughter. And so she knows that you were working on it, but she doesn't want your stuff on her property.
Okay,
And then for the trash truck in the back in the alley, when that falls down, the trash trucks, because that I've actually have to nail your fence up before myself. It falls over and the trash truck can't even come through. So you need to make sure that that back side is also nailed.
I have it torn down right now because I'm redoing all the.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm putting railroad ties and stuff like that. So, yeah, it is. It's a work in process. I think they will have to do.
Okay, excuse me, I have a question. So for clarification. And I don't know, I just have a problem with this because it gets to a certain point when we give them. When they're notified that it's dangerous property, it is way beyond. It didn't happen like in a week. All of a sudden in a week, it's like, oh gosh, this is dangerous property. This has been an accumulation of time. We're talking years, years and years and years. And then all of a sudden, it's like, now you need to get cleaned up. Well, it's now, give me 90 days, we do. You get an extra 30 days, we've done that. And now another 90 days. I mean, it's just, I don't know. This is just really, and this is why we have this list of dangerous properties, because as a council, I know that we try to work with our citizens and try to accommodate their requests and help them. But I mean, sometimes we just have to say, that's it. You have to do it. You have to get it done. And it's like when you have an extra 90 days, it's as human beings, we procrastinate and we kind of put it off. And then in 90 days, are you going to come back and say, I had something happen, I need 90 more days, and then it's going to be into years.
Come back again. I want to.
Yes.
You guys have many issues on your plate. I want to be part of this. I'm just asking you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Daniel,
Sir, I don't think you should have any more time. You've already had, since you said 15 years? It's 15 years of hoarding stuff, the neighbors bring property value down. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we move forward.
Another property that was full, and we complied with you guys, and we cleaned it all up. And it was a hoarded mess also. And never once have we tried to hide from you guys. We've come plenty of time to show our face, even though it's a hoarded mess, we know. I mean, we're not hiding.
understood. Thank you. We have a motion on the table. To move forward with the,
Second.
requesting direction, and the direction we want to take is that you want the city to go ahead and
Move
Just-
forward.
Move forward with the courts and the city to.
So he still has time from here to the courts to get it cleaned up.
Yes, and then at the courts, they can also come to the court hearing where the judge has historically can also grant more time to the people themselves for the cleanup before the court order is issued. If the court order is issued, if that is the judge's will.
So that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and have we have a motion by Mr. Bowen, a second by Ms. Cordova. Daniel, would you read the roll, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bowen,
Yes.
Mr. again, sorry, he is absent.
didn't
Ms.
show up.
Parker,
Yes.
Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
No.
Mr. Lopez,
No.
no. Ms. Miller. Mr. Miller, sorry.
Yes, I wasn't gonna let my wife go.
Back there,
She might vote for you.
give me that number.
Let me see.
It's 4 yes and 2 no.
Well, yes, and two, no, sir.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes.
4 yes and 2 no. And the motion carries. We'll go forward with our action that we need to take. The action that we need to take, Mr. Side, is going forward. And like I said, the courts will be contacting you and then we'll. You'll still have time to keep cleaning. So I would recommend that you keep cleaning. Next, item 3 is direction on number addresses listed at 507, 509, and 511 North Avenue.
What about 824?
No, 824.
You still need it.
Oh, I thought it was doing more.
No.
So it could be.
Yeah, 824.
To be the next one.
This is owned by the sciences, is that right?
Yes, so this is the one, yeah. The same, but it has pretty much all the same information, the difference just being the owners. It was posted and declared on the same days, same 90 days. As I said, on this one, I can say I did talk to property owners, which would be the sizes. About this. I did want this put up here because it did come up. They had some concerns about code enforcement driving by too frequently. So we did request that code enforcement only goes by to take pictures when we're updating councils. That was about a month ago, so code enforcement just went by to take pictures when we update this last one. We did talk to her, she needs to bring witnesses and all that, but since it was a public concern, I wanted it to come forward in this. So we were completely upfront with it. You want to change this next one? These are the before pictures that were taken in August when it was declared. Go to the next one. And then these are the after pictures. As I said, we try to emulate the before pictures as close as possible so you can see any improvements that have been made. And it's up to the pleasure of the council what they would like to do with 824.
Are these cars on the street, are they broken down or are they running?
Are they all registered?
One of those holding sheets of.
Yeah, 2 of them are cars, the rest of them are trucks and things that are moving.
Are they Richard? Are they all Richard?
have trailers, the private trailers and everything taken there.
Constantly something else moving.
Pleasure of the council on this problem.
Mayor, I make a motion, we go ahead with 824 so.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bowen, a second by Ms. Parker on 824, we still. Same action. Then you'll read the roll for this one.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bowen,
Yes.
Ms. Parker.
Yes.
Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
No.
Mr. Lopez,
No.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Then result 4-2.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next one, 507, 509, 511, and 7K.
So this one is same property. We declared this also when this came August 22nd, 2023. The same 90 days has expired. There was a pretty good initial improvement on this property. At the time that the improvement did stop. We haven't seen any further work done on it. This property has been the host of multiple nuisance calls because there are stray dogs that live on the property. As of now, we've removed 7 dogs from the property, and there still are some more. This one, I have not been able to speak to the property owner about it, as he doesn't come out to speak, so we did have to post the property. Go to the next page.
You won't answer the door at all, right?
No, we have not been able to have any contact. He did answer it. He will answer for police, but not for code enforcement or anything like that.
He does answer for police.
That is what I've heard, that when we've tried to serve, that he's been cooperative. Mr. Matthew?
Who owns this?
Yes.
So again, here's the before pictures that were taken in August. Showing what the conditions look like. Ms. Chris, the next page. And then we took these just about a week ago at the current conditions.
Not much change.
Now they had done an original really good clean, but that mostly got refilled back up. So the original improvement did go away, unfortunately. But they did keep the accessory sheds locked, which was something they had done, which is an improvement on theirs. So we are seeking to see what the council would like to do. They'd like us to move forward or to give the homeowners more time.
Ms. Cordova, this is another one that's been a thorn in our side.
Yep, it sure has.
You agree, Jake?
Yeah, and on this place, is that the same place where they have had the 2 fires already?
No, so that one, we did the emergency abatement and got cleaned. This is a separate property owned by the same property owner.
Well, it's not very clean anyway.
We were able to get anything that was flammable off under the emergency abatement as being a fire danger, but a lot of the non-flammable cinder blocks, bricks, we weren't able to take.
Off of the one that's further on your case.
we're able to clean it as it being fire dangerous to the neighbors.
It would entertain action on 507, 509, 511.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with this, please.
Second,
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Mr. Miller. Ms. Folks, would you read the roll for this one as well?
Yes, sir. Mr. Bowen,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
yes.
Okay. Let's go forward.
Yes, sir. So this last one is a little more, always a little bit more better news. We're looking for ratification for an animal shelter grant. This grant was. Oh, I was like, oh no, who's that annoying person talking? Oh my gosh, that's me. So this grant is offered through the Banfield Veterinary Foundation, which is a nonprofit that helps a lot of other nonprofits and animal shelters. So we requested $8,907.89 for equipment. There's no match from the city for this. The equipment we requested was 4 microchip readers, 1 animal scale, 1 woods lamp, 1 flea and tick station, 1 ultrasound scanner, 3 stethoscopes, 1 incubator for neonatal animals, which are newborn puppies and kittens, 10 feeding kits, and a hydraulic lift table that comes up, so making exams easier on animals. This is considered vet equipment that does not require a license to use, so we're able to request it. We'd be notified in December if we're approved for the funds. The grant does favor nonprofit vet clinics, but we are still eligible to apply, so we would like to apply anyways, even though it's not a guarantee we will get it. If you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer it.
Any questions for Kelly on that?
Mr. Mayor, I'm ready for approval of ratification.
Second. Motion to approve by Mr. Miller, second by Mr. Bowen, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, Kelly. A lot of paperwork. Next item is items from the city manager, approval of a MOU for the Safe Haven Baby Box.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to call Ms. Angie up here because I don't want to take credit for facilitating this MOU. She helped with this. It's very simple. It talks about right to life and what they have raised funds for and what they will continue to keep as far as maintenance goes. And once this is or is not approved, that will be when we do the deciding factor on what the next step is.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Reading my stack here. Anybody have any questions on that?
No.
You know, we've discussed that numerous times and I think that we got the language worked out and any additions, attorney? I'll entertain action for the approval of the MOU.
Second,
Motion by Mr. Robinson. Mr. Miller. Daniel, would you read the roll?
Mr. Bowen,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes. Sorry.
here you go.
Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good job. Well done. Second item is the attorney's contract, Sarah.
This is just a formality. When we did the original contract 2 years ago, it was noted that we would bring it back for renewal each calendar year. And so this is the second annual renewal. And I do stand for any questions that you might have. Or if Steve would like to say anything.
Steve, would you like to say anything?
How come you're blushing?
Are you? No. Anyway, I would entertain action on the legal services agreement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Parker, second by Mr. Robinson, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
You're on the hook for another year. All right, last item that's on here not the last item, but the next item is executive session. Action to convene into a closed meeting to discuss matters provided under the New Mexico statute related to limited personnel matters. The city manager and matters pertaining to attorney-client privilege information. Entertain action to convene into closed session, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Mr. Mullin.
Yes.
Will you give us a roll call, Danielle?
Yes, sir. Mr. Bowen,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes. Okay.
All right, I'm going to entertain action to convene into an open session.
So moved.
Second.
By Ms. Parker, a second by Mr. Bowen, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Action as a result of a closed session, there was no action taken, only matters limited to personnel matters or pertaining to attorney-client privileges were discussed, and no action was taken. Council staff comments?
We do have our run show coming out Saturday from 8 to noon. I do want to thank everybody that donated for it. We have a lot of stuff. Quite a bit of rooms at the old city hall are filled up with items from furniture to clothing to dishes, Christmas items, that type of thing. So we encourage people to come out and shop. All the proceeds will go to our animal control facility, so we're hoping to do a good job there.
Any other staff? Council?
Go ahead.
I would like to thank the chief fire for the cool Christmas ornaments. Thank you.
Thanks, chief.
That's what I was gonna say.
No, what you were gonna say, dude?
No.
Ditto. She goes ditto. Anything else? Nothing at all from the council. The mayor's gonna make a announcement. I'm gonna resign at the end of the year for health reasons. More than anything, so we'll put that up there. Okay. There's nothing else from council. Yeah. We'll be adjourned.